Here we are with a review of the brand new FourSevens titanium tactical pen, introduced at SHOT Show 2012. This is FourSevens' first venture into the world of pens, and there are some great features about this pen and some not so great features about this pen, and I will try and cover them all. So this pen is titanium, it is small, it is lightweight, and it is a great everyday carry pen for small tasks, and I'll get to that in a bit. Construction of this pen, obviously it's titanium. Starting at the back here, it has the brand new FourSevens logo there on the cap. Pocket clip is perfect. Just the right amount of springiness. It goes over a smooth surface, so you're not going to have any underclip issues. And the springiness is just right. It fits in your pocket very easy with this pocket clip. Love the pocket clip. The body here nice and smooth. On the other end here, they have several tips for this, 3 tips. This one is what they term as the glass breaker tip. Now this unscrews, and there's 2 other tips for this. Unscrews, and you can swap the tips out. There's one that they sort of a DNA catcher tip if you had to push this into a tactical, I guess, type roll. And then there is one that is has a slot where you can put a lanyard through. A couple notes about these tips. The DNA catcher one, you know, if you had to push this into a tactical type, you know, striking type, defensive type roll, it is small, so there's not a lot sticking out of your hand there. Pretty small pen for that, but I suppose you could use it as a striking type thing if need be. How about this glass breaking tip? Well, I've not seen any videos of this pen actually breaking glass. They claim that this tip will. Here's a safety tip on this. If you are ever pushed into using this as a glass breaker, this is going to be a problem because this pen is so small and it just barely sticks out of your hand there. I mean, you're going to put your thumb on the other end of it here to give it some stability and support. And there is just about a centimeter sticking out of your hand here, depending on the size of your hand. So you're going to bang it into that glass. The pen is going to go through the glass, and your hand is going to go into that glass. And your hand is going to get chopped up. From working in the ER, I have seen far too many glass injuries. And if you ever have to strike something with this, if you can, you know, put a glove, a t-shirt, something over your hand here, because you're going to chew your hand up in the glass, you're going to get glass all on your hand. It's going to be bad news. It's just the fact that this pen is so small. I guess in an emergency, you're in a sinking car for whatever reason, you know, maybe. But I may be a little bit dubious about the glass breaking capacity of this pen. I guess I'd like to see some video by FourSevens of someone using this pen to do that without chopping their hand up. So just be careful with that if ever pushed into that situation. Next, this is a pen with a cap. And one of the selling features of this pen is that you can't put the cap on the back of the pen. That is the worst feature of this pen. Here's a couple notes on that. First, I don't like pens with caps, admittedly, so I'm a little biased there. I think it's just too much of a hassle for me, honestly. I just like a pen either with a clicky or a twist open. So this pen, you take the cap off, and what do I do with it? Well, okay, I'll set it down, and you go to write with it. You know, I used this pen the other day to fill out an application, and I took the pen off, the cap off, and well, I guess I'll sit it down here, fill out the application. You're going to take a big chance at losing this cap because it doesn't go on here. One of the ideas they said is that you can't put the cap on the pen so that when you loan this pen out, you keep the cap and the person will have to give the pen back to you. Well, you know, 98% of the time you're using the pen yourself, and if I'm going to loan the pen out to someone, they're probably going to be sitting right there. They're not going to walk off with my pen. So the idea I'm going to say, they say, hey, can I borrow your pen? Yeah, hang on a second. Here you go. Take the pen. I'm keeping the cap. This is a $100 pen. I'm not giving you the whole thing. You know, people will think you were crazy if you told them you spent $100 on this pen. You know, and just the idea that I mean, it just makes no sense to me. The idea that you can't put the cap on the back, you're going to give just the pen out to someone and keep the tip. It's just a flawed design on this pen. Also, the fact that you can't put that cap on the back. This pen is really small, so it's a great check signing pen, but down near the tip here, it is very narrow. So if you have to do any extended writing with this pen, it gets to be a little bit of a chore. The pen, you know, if it was this length with the cap on the back, that would be perfect because you could kind of choke up on the pen a little bit and there'd be a little bit more space there. But as it is, there's not much space on the pen here in your hand. So again, just flawed design there, in my opinion, with not being able to put the cap on. Thankfully, that could be very easily remedied by making one of these tips that you can screw on there and make it so you can put the cap on there. That would almost make this pen worth buying. The ink on this has this Fisher Space Pen refill. unscrews, and you can see that the pen is really not much bigger. Oops. Not much bigger than the refill itself. Here you go, there's a comparison. So it's a very small pen, and they say that this pen will only take the Fisher Space refills. Whether that's true or not, I'm not positive. That seems kind of limiting, but the Fisher Space refills, I love them. They write great. I use them on my other pens, my pen that I carry every day. So refill is a high point of the pen. You know, so here's the upside of this pen. It is super small, and as an everyday carry pen, this absolutely disappears in your pocket. For a size comparison, here's the pen I carry most often, this Surefire Pen 2, and here's a Pilot G2, and here is this pen in comparison. So super small pen, it absolutely disappears in your pocket, but because of its small size, if you have to do any extended writing with it, it can be a bit of a task. So there you have it, the FourSevens titanium tactical pen. The improvements on this: fix the cap, and $100 price point is a little expensive for my taste for what you get for this pen. If they could bring that price point down a little bit and fix the cap, I think this would be a fantastic pen.